Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to talk about a superfood which is very rich in nutrients known as taro commonly, and it is locally known as Gaderi in the Himalayan state of Uttarakhand. This is very rich in nutrients, as I said earlier. It's a rich source of many vitamins like vitamin A, C, B, E and K, rich in vitamin E especially, and it has got amino acids and omega-3 oils. It's also is very rich in minerals like manganese, magnesium, copper, calcium, um, selenium, likewise. And this is a super food, especially because it has got low glycemic index, which helps breaking down glucose slowly in the liver, and thus which basically helps in reducing the blood sugar. This is typically eaten by athletes. It helps them to have more power and vitality with less carb. This is very rich in fiber, so it helps in cleaning out the stomach to detoxify, and it is also a good food for anti-aging because it is rich in nutrients. Um, what else? No more such amazing benefits. You may want to check online about this vegetable. Just type in TARO or GADERI. Any of these words would get you the right information. And so that's about the vegetable. Now, how to grow this vegetable in your farms. So I'm going to take you to step-by-step process of growing this vegetable in your garden. You can grow it either in your field or a kitchen garden. This is a small piece of land where I'm growing it, and that's sufficient for 2-3 families. So let's begin. So the first and foremost thing is to measure the field. So let's say this is where the one bulb will go, and from here at a distance of 1 foot, you can measure 1 foot, goes the other bulb. So like this. So like this. Once the measurement has been done, and with the help of this small tool, you start digging it down. It generally requires little deeper. Take this one out. The other one should be 1 foot at the distance. There you go. Once that has been removed, I need to first dig up more. So the hole has been prepared well. The size of the hole, how deep it should be, depends on what is the quality of the soil. If it is very wet, then you don't need to dig it deep, but if it is dry, then you need to dig it deep. The idea is that when it is wet, then the bulb which goes down on the ground may get rotten, and thereby because of the excess of water, and thereby you want to keep it not that deep so that it keeps on receiving sunlight and the heat warmth of the sun. To be able to make holes, you may require different kinds of instruments. Like for instance, I'm using a shovel like instrument for not too deep hole for a wet ground, and a hole like instrument like this to make it deeper where it is dry soil. Serving few more bulbs.
हो पुऱ्या बी खाने बा आधा लगना बिल हरे आल मिल चरो आधे गड़ी साफ
Since they are small, so more can go there. For instance, here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here 4. The bulbs go into it like this. Since these are small bulbs, so they can go as is. But the ones which are bigger in size need to be chopped first and put part of that. Like this one is a chopped one. So it goes like this. You can put 2 to 4 separate bulbs depending on what is the how big the bulb is. If they are small, you can put 5, 6 also. If bigger, they less in numbers. Holes are ready now, like this. Now the next step is to get the manure and put it into the hole. So I'm going to take some manure. We've got a heap of manure here, and this is basically the cow dung and pine leaves and some other grasses like hay. Let's go. And it needs to be crushed really well so that it mixes well with the soil. So that's number one. And once that has been crushed, you need to then put it into the hole like this. And then once that has been done, you cover it with the soil which you had earlier digged out. Remove any stones so that it don't block the roots of the bulb. So now the bulbs have been sown. In 3-4 months of time, plants will have started coming out of the soil, and once the plant has grown about 1 foot or maybe 2 feet tall, that is the time we start gathering some soil around the plant, like we have gathered this much of soil around this banana tree. This is primarily done to protect the plant from possible cold weather in the mountain, and also it turns out to give higher crop yield because the uh, taro does not only grow under the ground but also within the soil heap we have gathered around the plant. This process is called munching, or locally we call it ugair. So that's all for today. The job gets over, and hopefully we'll have taro ready in 4-5 months, and I hope to deliver you some of them so that you also enjoy the nutty flavor of taro and the richness goodness of taro too. Thanks for watching. I hope you've understood how these taro or gaderi are cultivated. You may want to, if you want more technical detail, I may email you, so drop in your emails. That's it. Here taro vegetable is being cooked, and you can either cook it in a pressure cooker, which I don't recommend, or take this kind of iron pot, we call it kadhai locally, and with the help of this ladle I'm trying to show that we have mixed some green vegetable. This is fenugreek leaf that we have mixed with taro vegetable to make it tastier. Generally when you cook it in a pressure cooker, the color of the vegetable becomes really yellow, whereas in the iron pot it becomes little dark, like black brownish. It is basically because this iron pot is releasing bit of iron. That's how the color is. And ready to serve, so let's enjoy.